AI just took over the internet and no one's talking about it. Web 4 isn't the future, it's already here. Autonomous AI agents are making decisions, running businesses, and even shaping what you see, read, and believe. We break it all down with the latest AI dope.
Imagine like you're on Twitter and you get into this heated debate
Right.
with someone.
Okay.
And then you find out it's not even a person you're arguing with.
Oh, wow.
It's an AI.
Yeah, that's kind of the world we're heading into with this whole Web 4 thing, and that's what we're going to dive into today.
Yeah, it's
Based on this article,
wild stuff.
Web 4, we are AGI.
It is a really interesting piece
It is.
because it's like we're already here.
I think that's the fascinating part,
Yeah.
is that it's not like, oh, this is coming.
Yeah.
We're already in it.
Right. An AI arguing with you on Twitter, that's one thing.
Yeah,
But this goes way beyond that.
way beyond.
This is like AI making decisions, running companies,
Exactly.
creating stuff.
Yeah, and the article starts by walking through like the whole history of the web,
Okay.
which I think is helpful to kind of set the stage.
Yeah, for sure.
So Web 1, the very early days, just static pages.
Yeah.
Not a lot of interaction.
It's just information, basically.
Right, exactly.
And then Web 2,
Web 2, that's when things got
social media.
user-generated content,
Yeah.
Facebook, YouTube, all of it.
Endless scrolling.
Yes, endless scrolling.
But the argument here is that Web 1, Web 2, those were both kind of laying the groundwork.
Setting the stage.
Yeah, for something much bigger.
Exactly. And I think Web 3 is kind of a bridge between those early iterations of the internet and what the author sees as the defining characteristic of Web 4, which is this artificial general intelligence, or AGI. Quick ask. Almost 95% of you watch our videos but still aren't subscribed. Please click subscribe. It really helps us grow. And if you're not loving our content, you can always change your mind. Thanks, and back to you.
Okay, so AGI, I feel like that term gets thrown around a lot.
It does.
What are we actually talking about here? When the author says AGI, what do they mean?
So they break it down into 5 distinct levels.
Okay.
And they start with level 1, which is basically what we see now with chatbots.
Right.
You know, they can have conversations,
Yeah.
but there's not a lot of depth there.
Right. They're not that smart yet.
And then you've got level 2, which is the reasoners, AI systems that can solve problems, you know, analyze data.
So that's already getting a little more sophisticated.
Right.
But where does it get really futuristic?
Level 3 is where we start seeing true agency. This is AI that can act autonomously, make decisions, take actions without human intervention.
So like a trading bot.
Yeah, like a trading bot that analyzes the stock market
Wow.
and then makes trades based on its algorithms.
And they're saying we're already at level 3.
That's their argument, and they have some pretty compelling examples to back it up, particularly in the realms of social media and decentralized finance, or DeFi.
Okay, so let's break those down. Let's start with social media.
Yeah.
What kind of AI agents are we talking about? Because I've heard of like AI influencers.
Right?
But I always thought that was more hype than reality.
So it goes way beyond just bots spamming links or, you know,
Yeah.
trying to sell you something. These are AI agents that are building communities,
Right.
engaging with users, and actually shaping online discourse.
Wow.
They can create content, respond to posts, even develop their own personalities that attract followers.
So like actual AI influencers.
Exactly. And they're using platforms like X, you know, formerly
Yeah.
Twitter,
Yeah.
to have discussions, to even participate in podcasts using these voice models.
Wait, hold on. AIs are podcasting now.
That's what the author is saying, and some of them are even being perceived as thought leaders.
That's a little creepy.
It is a little unsettling, but also fascinating.
Hey, want our free AI dope top AI tools that we use? Chat below. It's our live Google Sheets packed with over 100 killer tools: video, music, photos, AI voices, productivity, script writing, YouTube hacks, captions, the works. Always growing. Live Google Sheet. Always free. AI dope top AI tools that we use. Download and chat below. Back to the show.
Okay, well, let's move on to DeFi then,
Okay.
because that's where things get really interesting for me.
Yeah, DeFi is a whole other world.
It is. It feels like the Wild West.
It does.
So what kind of AI cowboys are out there running around?
Think of them as autonomous financial actors.
Okay.
You know, they're monitoring platforms like Pump Fund,
Okay.
looking for investment opportunities. They're executing trades, managing assets, even minting and selling NFTs.
All without any human involvement.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
That seems really risky.
Well, the argument is that AI agents are actually really well suited for this kind of fast-paced, data-driven environment.
Okay.
They can process information way faster than we can make decisions.
Right. Yeah.
And they don't have the same emotional biases that lead to bad trades.
That's true.
Yeah.
I definitely let my emotions get in the way sometimes.
Right.
So, okay, I get that. But what makes the blockchain so important for all of this?
It's like a level playing field.
Oh,
In traditional finance, an AI can't just open a bank account.
right. They need a person to do
Yeah,
that.
but in the crypto world, anyone can participate, whether they're human or AI.
So the blockchain is like the key that unlocks all of this.
Exactly. The article actually calls the blockchain the battleground for AGI development
Okay.
because it's where these AI agents are free to experiment, to innovate,
Right.
to compete.
And one of the examples they give is this AI agent called Cerebro.
Yes, Cerebro.
So what is that?
It deployed its own Solana token and achieved a pretty significant market cap.
So this AI created its own cryptocurrency
Essentially, yeah.
and made a bunch of money.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is a sign that they're becoming serious players in the financial world.
So, okay, we've got AI agents building communities on social media, playing the markets in DeFi. But what about level 4, this innovator level?
Yeah.
Is that just science fiction or is that actually happening?
It's definitely the most speculative of the 5 levels, but the article argues that we're already seeing glimpses of level 4 AI emerging, particularly in the creative realm.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Give me some examples.
So the article highlights a few milestones that really show how these level 3 AIs are becoming more and more agentic.
Okay, so what are those milestones? What makes an AI an agent?
Well, one of the key markers is autonomous decision-making.
Okay.
So they're not just blindly following instructions, they're actually making decisions based on the information they have access to.
So like that financial bot we were talking about.
Exactly. It can analyze the market, weigh its options, and then make a judgment call about when to execute a trade.
So it's thinking for itself, essentially.
In a way, yes.
Right.
And then there's the ability to interact with and even manipulate their environment.
Okay, so what does that look like in the context of AI agents?
Think about the DeFi world. AI agents are interacting with financial markets, buying and selling assets, influencing market behavior.
Right.
And in social media, they're shaping conversations, building communities, impacting public opinion.
So they're not just passively existing in these spaces,
Yeah.
they're actively shaping them.
Right. And then another key marker is this adaptation to changing conditions.
So they can learn and evolve.
Exactly. The article mentions how financial agents can adapt to live market conditions and adjust their strategies accordingly.
So almost like they're learning as they go.
That's the idea. And this learning and adapting ties into another milestone, goal-oriented behavior.
Okay.
These AI agents are able to set and execute goals over the long term. Whether it's profiting from trades or growing a social media following, they can break down complex goals into smaller tasks and work toward them independently.
So it's not just reacting to stimuli. It's setting its sights on something and figuring out how to get there.
Exactly.
That almost sounds like strategic thinking.
It's certainly heading in that direction. And then finally, there's the integration with physical systems or digital platforms.
Okay, that's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
What does that kind of integration look like in practice?
Well, the article talks about how large language models, or LLMs,
Okay.
can now interface with IoT devices like smart appliances or industrial sensors.
So they can control things in the real world.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Imagine an AI that can manage your entire home based on your preferences and habits.
Hold on, so we're not talking about like robots taking over the world, are we?
Not quite, but theoretically, as long as an AI agent is given the right API or instructions to control a physical body, it could interact with the physical world.
So like self-driving cars, but even more sophisticated.
Yeah, potentially. And even without robots, we're already seeing deep integration with digital platforms.
Sort of like those customer service chatbots on websites.
Exactly, or the AI influencers we talked about earlier.
Right. And of course, the DeFi agents are deeply embedded in the blockchain ecosystem.
Precisely.
So all of these milestones, the decision-making, the manipulating of environments, the adaptation, the goal orientation, and the integration, they're painting a pretty clear picture that AI is moving beyond passive assistance and into true agency.
And this transition, the author argues, is a crucial step towards Web 4. They even go so far as to say that Level 3 was yesterday already, meaning it's not some future prediction, it's our present reality.
Okay, so how do we get from AI agents doing their thing to this whole new iteration of the internet? What's the bridge between these milestones and the emergence of Web 4?
That's where things like APIs and direct computer use come into play.
Right.
The source material talks about how AI agents are no longer limited to just generating text. They can now use APIs or application programming interfaces
Right.
to interact with practically any internet service.
So they can place orders, send emails, book appointments, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And the more APIs that are developed, the more powerful these AI agents become.
So it's all about access.
In a way, yes. And beyond public APIs, businesses and individuals can even design their own APIs for specific tasks, giving AI agents even more control and flexibility.
So with the right API, an AI agent could theoretically do anything a human can do online.
That's the implication. And then there's direct computer use, which takes things even further.
What is direct computer use?
It's basically the ability for AI agents to use graphical user interfaces, GUIs, just like humans do. They can navigate websites, open applications, and perform tasks that previously required a human hand on the mouse.
So they can click, drag, scroll, and type just like we do.
That's the idea. It's like giving an AI agent its own digital hands to interact with the world. The source material even gives the example of AI agents being used to analyze construction site audit videos and identify safety violations.
Wow, so they're not just writing poems or playing chess anymore. They're analyzing visual information, making judgments, and potentially even taking action based on those judgments.
Yeah.
It's a whole other level of agency.
And it's precisely this ability to adapt, learn, and interact with the world in increasingly complex ways that leads the author to conclude that AI has evolved from being a passive assistant to becoming a true digital agent.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the evolution of the web, the different levels of AGI, and how AI agents are already showing signs of agency in everything from social media to finance.
Right.
But where do we go from here? What does all of this mean for the future of AI and the web?
Well, that's where we delve into level 4 and the fascinating and potentially unsettling implications of true AI innovation.
So we've got these AI agents out there, making decisions, trading crypto, posting on social media.
Right?
But level 4, this whole innovator thing,
Yeah,
that feels like a whole other level.
it does.
Like, is that even possible?
Well, the article acknowledges that reaching level 4 isn't like this sudden leap.
Right.
It's more of a gradual evolution. We're seeing these hints of AI creativity,
Okay.
but it's still pretty limited and often specialized to certain areas. The piece uses the term emergent to describe level 4. Emergent.
Meaning it's kind of popping up in these isolated pockets, but it hasn't fully taken root yet.
So where are we seeing these pockets of level 4 AI? What does AI innovation actually look like?
One of the most prominent examples is in the art world.
Oh, interesting.
We've talked about AI artists generating and selling NFTs, but it goes beyond just images.
Okay.
AI can compose music, write poetry, even generate scripts,
Really?
all without human intervention.
Wow.
Imagine an AI that could watch all your favorite movies and then write a whole new film based on your preferences.
So like AI-generated blockbusters.
Potentially, yes.
That's kind of freaky.
It's definitely a paradigm shift.
It is.
The implications are huge. Think about the music industry, for example.
Okay.
AI could create personalized soundtracks for your life, generate custom jingles for businesses, or even compose symphonies based on specific emotional themes.
Okay, so AI is making art, but what about more practical innovations?
Right.
The article also mentions AI agents creating and managing their own tokens and even running entire DAOs.
That sounds like serious innovation.
It is a radical departure from traditional models.
Right.
AI can now write and deploy smart contracts.
Which are basically the foundation of all this blockchain stuff.
Exactly. And they can use graphical interfaces to launch tokens, manage networks, essentially build and manage their own financial instruments.
So AI is creating its own financial system.
In a sense, yes. Imagine your retirement fund being managed not by a human financial advisor, but by an AI that can analyze market trends, predict risks, adjust its strategy in real time.
Okay, so that's tokens, but what about DAOs?
Right, so DAOs are essentially organizations run by code.
It's a code.
Yeah, they're governed by rules embedded in smart contracts and operate transparently on the blockchain.
Okay.
And the article highlights how AI agents are starting to take on central roles in these DAOs, making decisions, governing assets, adapting strategies based on real-time data.
So we're talking about AI CEOs, AI making all the big decisions.
It's not that far-fetched. The article mentions an AI-managed venture capital DAO called I-16ZAO. It uses AI to evaluate investments, execute trades, manage token distributions. It's a glimpse into a future where organizations are not just assisted by AI, but potentially run by it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
all of this is happening already.
Well, that's the thing. While these examples are impressive, they're still limited in scope. AI art creation is mostly confined to digital media, and token creation is largely within the decentralized finance space. Most DAOs, even those with AI involvement, still rely on human oversight to some extent. It's like we're seeing the building blocks of level 4, but the full structure hasn't been built yet.
So it's like we're standing on the edge of this new frontier,
Yeah,
looking out at this landscape we're only beginning to understand.
and the potential is vast. The article argues that the true potential of AGI won't be realized through the work of a few tech companies alone.
Right.
Widespread deployment and adaptation by the public are essential for AGI to truly flourish.
So it's not just about OpenAI and Google figuring this all out.
Right.
It's about all of us figuring out how to live and work alongside AI in a way that benefits humanity as a whole.
Exactly. The article makes the analogy of electricity.
Yeah.
When it was first discovered, it took decades for inventors, engineers, and everyday people to figure out how to harness its power and integrate it into society. AGI is similar in that its true impact will depend on how we collectively choose to use it.
So we're not just passive observers in this technological revolution. We're active participants shaping the very future of intelligence itself.
And that brings us to the big question.
What's that?
What role will you play in this emerging world? Want more info on just how autonomous AI agents and AI tools will change everything? Click this next video where we discuss what you can do now to prepare.